Yeah, I would favor Hunter here, but I don't think it's like a huge win percentage.
Sure.
Which, some people do think that.
What are you pegging it at then? Like 40, 60?
I'm so bad at naming the percentages, but yeah, I would give the Hunter like 60 or so.
Sure,
Maybe
sure.
just slightly higher than that.
Yeah, sure.
What do you think, Reels?
I do think it is a matchup that favors the Hunter. I'll give it that at a minimum.
With Hunter's Mark, that's a card that people have been debating putting in and out. So now that you're putting it back in.
Oh, but he mulligans it away.
Oh, he thinks
it's Zoo.
Because T.Celestial played a lot of Zoo in his Chinese tournaments.
Yeah, and he has played some Handlock as well. I believe he played Handlock at OGN. So definitely has a range, but that hand, I guess, has some bonuses against Hunter. You want to start with...
And, of course, by the way,
Mortal Coil.
It is not Tom 60229 versus D2. It is Tiddler Celestial on the left and Numberguy on the right. So the one with the number in his name. Oh, no, actually, they both have numbers.
Well, one number is...
That fix doesn't work.
So.
Literal face.
Literal face, indeed.
Well played, Reels. Now, Mad Scientist, of course, very important because it's more durable. And you see that your opponent had the opportunity to use Mortal Coil if he played the Web Spinner instead. Nice heads-up play there.
Yeah, I do like it. It does allow him to put some damage on right away as well, which I think you do got to do.
Do you think there is a debate that maybe Loot Hoarder was also a possibility? Because then you force your opponent on 2 mana to use Mortal Coil, and then he's uncomfortable.
Yeah, actually, I do kind of prefer that when you say that, Frodan, because then it kind of wastes one of his draws a little bit. And this turn, it's so efficient. He gets Mortal Coil and Life Tap.
And if he had decided to life tap anyway, even with the Loot Hoarder there, the end result would have been the same. So it would have given him the option of Mortal Coiling. And if you think that that's a mistake for them, then maybe you should play the Loot Hoarder to give them the opportunity to make that mistake.
Yeah. Of course, cycling through is pretty neat as well. Taking a look at this hand right now, he only has actually like one... He only has one beast in hand, but he has 2 Houndmasters at the moment, so it could be an issue.
So, now that you have 2 Hellfires, I really think that Tiddler's anticipating classes like Shaman to be very prevalent.
Yeah.
But how effective is Hellfire against Hunter? Because as much as it's good against AoE clear, it also reduces your own health total. Are you feeling a lot more confident now that you have double Molten Giant in your hand?
He doesn't have a Taunt Giver to go with it, though. So he would have to close out the game really quickly with them. And, of course, that's what they often do. But Hellfire's okay against Hunter sometimes, but this is a lot of damage coming in. It's really scary.
Well, if you go for a Houndmaster play, Hellfire clears it, but there is a trap, and that can throw a big wrench into things for this Mountain Giant.
It could, and we don't know what traps Numberguy is playing yet. We just watched D2 play against Tom, and D2 had the double freezing trap.
What if it was misdirection?
He's not checking. He's not checking. Okay, it's explosive.
Explosive
trap!
But I was saying, what if on the off chance, like Artosis, for example, you threw in a misdirection as he threw a cup, and the Mountain Giant gets misdirected and hits himself.
Dude, that's no one expects the misdirection. That's for sure.
I don't even know if he's expecting explosive trap either.
No, probably not. That's one of the least used traps for sure.
This is already getting very dicey. Look at, he's at 17 health. Hellfire will take him down to 14, and explosive trap will even reduce that further.
Yeah.
He's 1 mana off from being able to, or 1 health off, either way, from being able to play a Molten Giant this turn.
That's so rough. That is so rough.
Tease.
Oh, man. If only he had a Soulfire to hit himself with.
Soulfire yourself to play 2 Molten Giants?
I've seen it done.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
It's a play. In fact, I think it'd be a good play there when you have the Hellfire in hand, because he's not probably going to remove 2 Molten Giants, which means that's lethal.
Right, but then you're at 8 health.
Oh, yeah.
That's really scary.
Gotta roll those dice, Frodan.
Well,
you gotta shuffle that deck, Frodan.
Nice. I like it. You're on fire already.
I'm just warming up, guys. I'm gonna be here all day making terrible jokes.
You're right now 2 for 2. By NBA Jam standards, you're 1 off from being on fire.
Yeah. Heating up.
Excellent.
That's right, he's heating.
Yeah.
Well, T.Celestial doesn't really have...
I probably wouldn't hold this. I don't think he has any Murlocs in this deck.
No, I don't really think anyone's doing it. It might be useful for a kill command enabler because it is 1 mana.
1 mana. That is a very good point.
So there is
beast.
merit. Okay.
Unfortunately, it's a Leok. He'd love to just get that 4 Huffer damage in right now.
Yeah.
Right. This actually is somewhat scary, because then if your opponent can clear the board again and still do damage...
Oh, that's a draw.
That is a draw.
A big draw.
Wow.
A potentially game-ending draw.
Wow, that was the exact card he needed.
Yeah, that
too.
was the exact card.
For 2 other mana, what could you do?
Well, if he got a defender, I guess he could life tap and play it all. But
You're right. But, I mean, I'd rather be at 12 health than 2. But
for sure
or
about
10,
that.
excuse me.
That was definitely the best draw you could have in that deck.
Hunter's Mark is definitely one of the cards he's looking for in this circumstance, but there's still so many giants in play.
Yeah. Oh, God. Well, I mean, he's playing Explosive Trap. The thing is, if he uses the Hunter's Mark on one of these...
Right.
Explosive Trap actually isn't that bad, because it does stop this 8-1.
Do you think he's playing 2 Explosive Trap?
I don't know.
There's a possibility. I mean, if you're playing 1, you could play 2, right?
You know, with Explosive Trap, with 2 Hound Masters and a Hunter's Mark, I really wonder if he's even running cards like Unleash the Hounds or those other combos that we've seen. Because Leok with Unleash the Hounds would have been also a devastating draw. But he doesn't have it, I think, because he had to make cuts somewhere.
Oh, it's a freezing. I think he was fishing for freezing before.
Yeah.
Ooh.
If I were to make a guess, I would say he's probably playing something like 2 freezing and 1 explosive or something like that.
It makes sense.
He was fishing for that freezing earlier and he didn't get it. Now it's here, but it's too late.
Is that just it?
Yep.
If you send back the Sun Fury Protector and then Hellfire and then attack.
Well, you suicide your 8-1 first.
Well, I think first you
true.
attack with the
Okay.
2-3, and then you
That's
swing
right.
in with 8-1, yeah. And then you swing with 8-8 Hellfire.
Yep.
Sup.
Lethal is available if he can find it. He's going to think about it and make sure that whatever trap that could be doesn't throw him off. If it were something like a misdirect, that might be something he's calculating how much risk he wants to take.
Well, he did call an explosive trap. I mean, there's a possibility of it.
But now, of course, he knows it's a freezing trap, so
here we go.
Cat's out of the bag. As long as he sees 8 + 3 = 11, he's going to get there, and
I think he
the
sees
Molten
it.
Giant bashes in.
Wow. And we're going to start off this series with yet again an unfavorable matchup and the underdog winning.
I love it. I love it.
Now, I got to ask you guys, like, he banned Rogue, and I talked to a lot of players coming into this tournament, and, well, not necessarily the players in the tournament. I don't want people to think I'm giving away information, but I talked to a lot of pros, and the general consensus was a lot of Warlock bans, right? So maybe Handlock is his one deck that he feels confident against Miracle with, so that's why he bans Rogue? Is that what we're looking at here?
Yeah, and looking at his other 2 classes, Druid and Priest, those classes can
Get these mulligans.
And Chillwind Yeti. Usually Chillwind Yeti is paired with Wild Growth, so I think there is a good chance that it is that very aggressive type of deck.
Yeah, I will definitely go with you on that. And seems like a pretty obvious mulligan here for Tiddler. You're looking for your mountain giants here.
Yeah, you want your 4-drop minions to pressure Druid as much as you can. Druid has to fight very honestly. It's not easy just to have a 1-spot removal that encompasses everything, unless you have Big Game Hunter. So it's very important to get those big threats early. Now, we do see an important card already in the beginning hand. Numberguy, he does have Keeper of the Grove, so he can kill off the Twilight Drake if it comes down to it.
Certainly very important, but the rest of his hand a little bit lackluster, and certainly for T.Celestial as well. Not really the cards you're looking for.
And dueling Golden Sylvanas. And I'm a little bit jealous.
You don't have a Golden Sylvanas yet?
I have regular old Sylvanas.
You work for Blizzard and they didn't give you a Golden Sylvanas?
No, I got to play the game, man. You play.
Well, they gave me a Golden Sylvanas. They didn't give you one.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, they gave me one too. That's kind of weird.
Oh, that's so weird.
Oh, man. I'm calling HR.
Now, we did just see a top deck of Wild Growth, by the way. That's one of the best moves in the game, for sure.
It is, and you really want to be able to follow it up with immediate pressure. You want to play a 4, you want to play a 5.
Oh, that's
just
where not having the Yeti really does stink, because now it comes to the case where if your opponent even does play the Twilight Drake, sometimes it gets really awkward mana-wise because you still have to deal with the 4/1 body.
Right. In fact, he might just go ahead and coin that out because this will still trade. It's you know, that's really, really annoying. At 5 mana, it's like...
But even if it silences, it's still a 4/1, and the Druid can't do anything for 1 mana.
Yeah, exactly. And that makes it so that the Drake can simply trade into the 2/4.
Exactly. It looks like he was going to play the Keeper right away, and now he's deciding if he wants to play a Taunted Druid of the Claw instead. He thinks maybe his opponent won't attack into it or something.
I mean,
he does have that option.
he could do that, and then the next turn he can go like Keeper for Silence plus Hero Power or something. But I mean, this is on curve. Do you prefer this play, Reels?
It is more efficient with your mana, which is one of the things that is often very good in Hearthstone.
Yeah.
But it does give up 4 health on your Druid of the Claw that you wouldn't otherwise be giving up. But maybe he's thinking about his next turns, and next turn he's thinking about Keeper of the Grove plus something like Wrath or Hero Power.
Yeah.
And he wants to play Ancient Allure the following turn, and the Druid would just be sitting in his hand forever. So
Yeah, it does make sense when you think about it, really, because cycling this Wrath would even be pretty smart. I'm not sure that you really need that card moving forward. But looks like he will be able to get rid of this, which is nice. Does lose his Faceless.
okay.
I don't think that that's too big a deal.
No, he still has a 5-mana turn with the Sludge Belcher, so no harm done there. Double Savage Roar, not going to be what Numberguy needs. That's a combination that's really powerful if you can have the early board snowball. In fact, sometimes the game's over at this point with Druid versus Handlock, but he has nothing to combo it off.
And there was a bit of punish there for playing out the Druid of the Claw. Had he played the Keeper, theoretically the Keeper would have traded for the Twilight Drake. If it had, if he had cashed in the 4/1 Twilight Drake, then this turn he'd be able to play something like Sylvanas into an empty board, or play out that Druid of the Claw this turn instead.
Sure.
So now he has to figure out how he wants to deal with the 4/4. Keeper of the Grove is no longer as exciting. He might have to do it anyway.
Yeah, and the thing is, we see this Owl in his opponent's hand as well, so we could see something like the Ancient Watcher going up. But actually, he does go ahead and just play the Sylvanas.
Sylvanas is pretty big, and it may draw out that Ironbeak Owl even this turn, so that it doesn't end up stealing something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, either you Ironbeak it and just kind of go to face, or you could do like, oh god, you could use 3 cards to get rid of it with that Shadow Flame, but that does not look tempting at all.
Yeah. If the board were to stay like this, somewhat, theoretically, how awesome would it be? Sylvanas trades in to the Twilight Drake, or I guess either one, and then you wrap away your Sylvanas and steal the other one.
Yeah.
Sludge Belcher in the way
that still
now.
might be the case if that's what you want.
If he wants to play dangerously, steals that little ooze, you're not going to feel very good at all, right?
The Death Rattles actually trigger in the order Sylvanas first before this.
Oh yeah, I guess if you actually Wrath her beforehand, wow.
Well, you can't Wrath for 1 though, which was
That's true.
would have been very nice.
You can keep her though. That's next level stuff.
Well,
but on a serious note, I think there's a lot better plays. You can do. with the Ancient of Lore in hand, it feels like it's much more powerful.
absolutely.
And the thing is, if you're stealing that Watcher, like, what are you doing? Trying to get your other Keeper to, activate?
Yeah, I guess so, and then your Watcher Druid.
We don't see too many Sun Fury Protectors in Druid nowadays.
You know, this might feel like it's his best time to play Karen, because an Owl was not used for silence.
He could actually clear the board here.
Yeah.
He has that option if he wants to. He wouldn't have anything himself, but everything would be dead. And maybe that's good against Cairn and Sylvanas. Those are pretty scary usually.
Yeah, well, I think you want to try to remove as much board pressure from the Druid at all. If you just stack creatures, Druid can't fight through a lot of health easily. Like, if you have a lot of 5 health minions, how is Druid supposed to mass remove it? They don't. I mean, they do have tools, but no one's playing Poison Seeds yet. We make that show every tournament, but it's still true. No, Druid still can't do mass removal yet.
It is really hard for them to deal with giant monsters.
Yeah.
Reels.
And giant monsters of taunts and anything that the types of things that Handlock is constantly throwing out. So if he were to remove the board, the monsters that he would play on subsequent turns would become very threatening.
Looks like he's going to go ahead and use the Silence.
See, he silences the Sylvanas, so he's not going for the board clear.
No, doesn't look like it.
Interesting.
Oh!
Whoa!
All right.
Tiddler.
I mean, it's only 1 damage, but...
He missed 8 damage.
Whoa!
If he's 1 damage off lethal at any point in this game.
Yeah.
That rope, man.
Tiddler was not happy, too.
No.
When people rope, my eyes just dart to their face so quickly.
His reaction was very... It was like one of disgust. Like,
Yeah.
God, I can't believe I didn't get that damage.
One of
in.
self-loathing, even.
I know that. I look at myself like that every day. Like, you rank 14 player. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, what are you doing to me? Well, he has the combo in hand, guys.
He does.
In fact, he hasn't drawn an innervate yet.
Right.
Like,
he has
we
double
could
combo.
just... Lethal might just pop out of nowhere at some point here.
And Karen represents some serious stickiness.
Hmm.
Serious stickiness. Coming to you in fall, Nickelodeon. Serious stickiness. T.Celestial picks up Sludge Belcher, which is really problematic for the combo because it usually takes like 2 or 3 pieces.
Yeah, yeah. Looks like your
That's-
hero
that's
and
nice.
a dude.
Ah, this is also okay too. Both up.
Yeah, Lotham's a pretty nice draw here. This, by the way, this Twilight Drake, considering there was a keeper kept in hand, has gotten more work done than I ever would have imagined.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's actually crazy. Like, this Twilight Drake is winning the game by himself. And the thing, you never see that because they keep the silence against us all the time. Like, Keeper is an
course.
auto-keep against Warlock.
Any Warlock.
Yeah.
Keeper of the Grove, one of the best cards you can see in your opening hand. Keep
Yeah.
it pretty much every time. And in this matchup, it is to counteract, of course, that Twilight Drake. And yeah, it's crazy. It's just been going nuts, even with the Keeper ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, he's got some other pretty decent cards in his hand. Black Knight, of course, we'll save that for the inevitable giant that we have to go through. But we have the Spectral Knight and we have the Shaded Naxxramas. Do you feel like that's worth developing at all this turn?
Huh.
It looks like he's going to trade, and
I'm a little bit surprised he's trained on the board. Like, does he think that maybe Tiddler's playing, you know, some sort of quick kill like a Arcane or a Leroy in here?
I don't even think that's it. I think he's worried about getting his board cleared by something like a Shadow Flame really easily, and which is really interesting because he already played one.
Yeah, and, well, I mean, we can see there's another one here in hand, but, you know, he had Karn, which is, like, kind of sticky. He had a 5/5, and his opponent has, like, a... Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like that as much as just going to face and getting him ready for death.
Tiddler going for the Sludge Belcher, and this is going to hopefully bait out something else, Black Knight removal, or soften it up. But before Mountain Giant comes down, that's interesting because he had the mana for Mountain Giant and Sun Fury Protector, but he chooses to go for this. That's a very aware play. Like, it's as if he knows what Numberguy is holding, even though he has no clue.
Well, if you actually look at Numberguy's hand, 2 cards have been in it since the very first turn.
Sure.
Like, if he's really tracking the hand, which I would expect pros of this level to be doing, 2 of them have been it since the first hand, and then another 2 cards have been there a very long time. So I think it's not too hard for him to actually put him on at least one combo here.
That's an excellent point. By the way,
He definitely doesn't put him on keeper, by the way. That's with how much that guy got done. I mean, a Twilight Drake.
That's right. Twilight Drake's been out for about 4 or 5 turns now, and then finally died. By the way, the most anti-handlock druid that I think we've seen yet in a long time.
Yeah.
He's got Black Knight and BGH, which is...
Yeah.
But time waits for no one.
He's looking pretty poised to go ahead and take this.
and a Wrath for 1. Gotta hurry up, though.
Is he gonna rope?
No. Oh, no! Sludge Belcher takes a long time. The
Yeah,
animations...
that's actually true. That's true. That's true.
No,
Oh,
the draws!
No!
Numberguy!
4 damage.
No!
Oh my god. He just missed killing a minion that has taunt and
going for the
attacking
face.
for 4. Guys, the rope is real. Oh my god.
That is bad news.
That's crazy right now. Tiddler's like, ha, I don't even care about that damage missed.
Oh my goodness, and the
He's got
board is
Shadow
going to
Flame.
be cleared.
Oh my god.
Oh, the nightmare
Watch.
scenario.
Oh, because you know what? If he had the damage and there was a clear like this, he
Dude.
had combo to kill him, maybe?
Yeah.
Well, he had 17. He would have had 17.
Okay.
He would have been at 17.
He would attack for 4, but the thing is, you can't clear that so easily because he needed the damage from the 1/2 to actually make that
you're
work.
right.
So he couldn't have done such a clear. He would have killed him this turn.
Okay. But he still has combo and he still has a minion that's hard to deal.
Yeah, like I still think he's got a
Oh,
very
you're
good
right.
shot at killing this, but he
Yeah.
would have had lethal that turn if he hadn't roped.
Yep. That is unfortunate. He's still in the game, though. Rope or not.
Yeah.
He's still
Oh.
battling through, and It's still on Tiddler Celestial to try and make sure that he doesn't die.
But he might just die, because he can't actually stop the combo.
Yeah.
No, he
Now
can't do
he's
anything.
just dead.
He's dead.
That Spectral Knight is resilient against any spell.
Tiddler just doesn't really draw taunts, man. Like,
All the giants in the world aren't going to save you here.
no, certainly not.
And that's what you want against Druid, but not like this. Numberguy is going to
like
end up
this.
taking
Wow.
the game anyways.
Wow.
Well,
That was,
Numberguy,
after a rope like that. Ooh.
that was one of the most devastating ropes I've ever
I
seen.
think it was the most devastating rope I've seen, but he still won.
but no
so.
punish, thank God.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
close to the punish.
We talked about momentum and confidence and nerves, and I feel like both these guys feel a little rattled after that. Both of them getting roped that game.
Yeah, that's for sure. Let this be a lesson to all you other players in this tournament if you want.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna
Really?
turn 2 Yeti. You'd rather turn 2 Wild Growth, turn 3 Yeti. I think.
Well, I think you can turn 2 Yeti, turn 3 Wild Growth, and the effect is about the same. You just get the Yeti out a little bit earlier.
But now you're gonna have like nothing in hand, right? Like you have to draw well.
Yeah, if you're at this point, if your Yeti dies, what else do you have?
Yeah. Would you have thrown away the Innervate Reels? Or would you have thrown away the Wild Growth or nothing?
I think I probably still would have held on to the Innervate
Okay.
and hoped to draw something like an Ancient of Lore, which playing a turn 3 Yeti into a turn 4 Ancient of Lore
That's pretty
innervated is
sick.
pretty game ending, and there are other heavy hitting threats that you can draw as well. So
Indeed.
So essentially, when you see a coin Wild Growth into your opponent responding with Wild Growth, Tiddler Celestial just lost the coin for no reason, right?
No, he coined out Wild Growth so that he could
Yeah.
play a turn 2 Shade and Extramus. So he had the 3-drop in hand. So
Sure, makes sense.
Yeah, that's I think that's really the only time you should be coining out Wild Growth, to be honest.
Yeah, unless you have a second Wild Growth to go into turn 5. That's also
yeah.
something
Yeah.
that happens.
usually, just the general idea is if you have Wild Growth in your hand and you're going second, you coin it out if you have something to do the next turn, and you don't coin it out if you don't have anything to do but hero power.
Yeah.
So that's sort of of course, the general idea.
Do you like
Yeah.
this massive trading, guys? Because all we've seen so far is trades back and forth, and I feel like if Admirable was sitting on the couch next to me right now, he'd be like, "Oh, you should be going to face." What do you guys think?
The risk there is if your opponent has something like a swipe, you lose your Druid of the Claw without it having gained any resource advantage and just
Yeah.
having dealt damage to the face. And sometimes that matters, and sometimes it doesn't. This early in the game, it's hard to tell.
That's right.
And the safer play is to trade.
Yeah, I think so. I'm all about
I mean,
the
I would
games.
trade. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to speak up for Admirable.
No, it makes sense. We'll talk to him more next week. I'm
Yeah.
sure he's watching right now and he'll write it down.
Oh.
Ancient of Lore is a very powerful play just to get the card advantage and the 5/5 minion, but thankfully Tiddler Celestial can deal with it and respond with his own creatures.
And he gets a reasonably good draw. No, he's going to just decide to go ahead and innervate instead. So he wants to have the most powerful presence he can get
Yeah.
as quickly as possible.
I mean, tempo is so important in this matchup. Initiative can dictate how the entire game pans out because you can snowball every single time.
Yeah, I mean, you get like one minion on board that doesn't get dealt with, and suddenly a combo comes through 2 turns later and you die.
Yeah, Sylvanas is really tough for Druid to deal with without Keeper the Grove.
And I wonder what kind of response that's going to trigger from Numberguy. And he's holding Savage Roar,
Yeah,
but
I mean, that's
not
actually...
the rest of the combo.
Well,
Yeah.
if he uses Savage Roar here, he can kill off Sylvanas and use his attack to kill his own Spectral Knight.
Take 6 from that.
Right, and
2
then
cards
play-
for 1.
Yeah.
I
But
feel
you are
like
playing with a card that's so board impacting.
you know, I think I just use my mana this turn, maybe.
Lotheb Hero Power or
Yeah.
Shade Yeti.
I mean, Shade Yeti is probably like more powerful. I actually like Lotheb Hero
Oh,
Power to
this
make
is-
sure that Wrath combos can't happen and stuff.
Well, but... And you're right. That's actually what's going to end up happening here. He's going to have a 50-50 to steal the Spectral Knight if he wants to go for it.
He's going for that, I think.
Ooh boy.
All right,
It's
let's see
Hard
it.
not to. What are you going to get?
What's he get? What's he get?
When he draws Lotheb.
She's taking her
Sylvanas
sweet time. What are you
wide.
gonna?
Oh, it takes the 4/6.
That is just brutal.
And he just adds another one
That's
right
right.
next to it. Now they're Spectral Knight buddies.
That's right.
The tag team
They were twins separated at birth, finally
Yeah.
reunited.
Dude, this
finally
is-
reunited.
Numberguy is in so much trouble right now. This is like, look at this. He has a combo in hand. Like,
but that was important to get the Ancient of Lore. If he didn't have that Ancient of Lore, he would have been in big trouble.
Yeah, I think he's still in. Well, I guess that a clear can happen next turn because he does have double Savage Roar. It's not really good for much else, but oh, that's a great play. I love that.
And here's where Admirable would tell you all to the face.
What about Savage Roar right now? Add the damage in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Go for 12.
And you already have Loatheb down. Opponent can't use spells. You have combo next turn. That was a great turn from T.Celestial.
Fantastic play. Really heads up. Not just being efficient with his resources, but striking when the opportunity is there to strike.
Yeah, this is really, really well done. And he has to be looking at this and saying, I'm probably dead this next turn.
So you have to load that yourself, right?
Yeah, you definitely do. Yeah, that's definitely the best he could have done there.
Does it matter, though?
No. I don't think it does, right?
Well, because it's not this turn, but next turn, still the same thing.
Well, the thing is, hold on. If he drew his combo piece, right, that's 14 plus 4, 18 plus 7. So, yeah, he should clear something, right? Wait, 18 plus 7. No, that would only have been 25.
Only 25.
Yeah.
Only 25.
He would have to have combo and innervate. Well, he had 26, so he actually didn't need to clear that, but it doesn't matter. He should anyways, I guess.
Oh, Ragnaros. But Ragnaros just not going to do it at this point.
Yeah.
Nope. There's no way. Like, Ragnaros, even if it clears the minions, T.Celestial has the 14 points. He needed to kill him this turn or to be really defensive.
Well,
all right.
May as well.
Is he going to kill the Betrayer?
Is that the Betrayer or is that the one he played?
Does it really matter? No!
Oh, it matters for him.
All right, well, that's going to do it. T.Celestial will take game 3 and jump out to 2-1 lead. This was crucial for him to win because Numberguy still has that Warlock, and T.Celestial is not out of the woods yet, even though he does have the series advantage.
Absolutely.
That's right, and look at that, exact lethal. Some manner being shown by T.Celestial here.
Yeah.
Way more than exact lethal. Very, very overkill.
Well,
there.
he's saying he did the exact damage.
He hit with his hero instead of the
He didn't like kill Rag or like overkill.
And this is an important thing to keep track of in this tournament: is who is going to overkill,
who's polite, who's not. That's right.
So you have to go into Warlock as a Numberguy here.
The past play,
a
demon
super
lock
death rattle,
of Zoo.
Yeah.
It's not. It looks like it's Zoo.
Yeah.
It does look like it's Zoo.
Numberguy gonna try to get to a really quick start. The most important aspect of this deck is to have a good curve, so that way you have as many powerful turns as possible. Meanwhile, back in Druidland, I see a very poor hand.
Well, Innervate is probably the foremost card you want to see. Big Game Hunter, very much not so.
If he's anticipating hand lock, he thinks he might be in decent shape.
Did he? I wasn't looking. Did he keep the Big Game Hunter in his opener? Or did he mold
Oh, I didn't notice, actually.
He actually did keep it.
He did keep it.
Wow.
Ooh.
Well, he gets a big draw off the top. That
yeah.
Having something to do early is a big deal. Well, turn 1 Shade is going to potentially threaten to at least 2-for-1 anything a Zoo player can throw out there. So
yeah.
This could end up being a really big deal.
Do you feel like you need an answer?
Would you Haunted Creeper here? Is there any chance you go Haunted Creeper instead of Leper Gnome?
Oh, wow, Knife Juggler. Okay,
well, I mean,
so
it would make a 1-for-1, I guess. I was just thinking you could do some little tricks with Haunted Creeper and clean him up.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So, all right. Well, Swipe is a good card against Zeus sometimes, but it's not a Wrath. A Wrath would have been, of course, what he wanted to see immediately. And is he going to take out? No, he's not. He's okay. So he wants that Shade to get more than 1 card.
Well, if a knife hits him, he's going to be feeling really bad about that. And there's a good chance with an Undertaker draw.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is almost too good to pass up.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Let's see it.
The Shade Action needs to continue dodging.
Oh, it does.
Big deal right there, actually.
All right.
And that is definitely going to run into Knife Juggler this turn.
And Shade number 2 is going to come down. It's basically just
Not a bad draw.
hoping that swipe gets it done.
Okay.
That's still really tricky because you, as much as you want to kill off the knife juggler,
Yeah, it makes sense, though.
Just too big of a threat. You have swipe also next.
And he draws a 1-drop. He has an opportunity here to potentially kill off the Shade.
Okay.
Oh, man.
This would be huge if he hit
This would
both
be
of them
huge.
this
Needs to
time.
follow it up.
Let's see
One
it.
knife is
Oh,
good.
Oh, my.
Oh my gosh.
This could define the game right here.
Oh, this is such a big deal.
Let's
Oh,
see it.
Tiddler.
Let's see it.
Oh, it looks like
Let's
he
see
reacted already. Does that mean it happened?
Oh! Wow.
Oh,
Knife
number
juggler
guy.
missed on that no scope.
Oh, number guy. You need to talk to your buddy, the knife juggler.
Wow. Okay, well, crisis
That is-
averted.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, well, Tiddler debating whether he wants to reveal
Yeah.
his shade. I
think
think
you
you
do.
want to kill it off because you're afraid of Defender of Argus making it too strong to deal with.
Wow.
Oh, number guy. I weep. Lotheb.
A little
in-
bit
in the
tough
zoo
here.
deck.
It seems obvious you're going to life tap first here.
Yeah, it's, the pressure's kind of starting to fade at this point.
Mm.
Well, it could simply be picked up if this Rubian egg is threatening to be popped, not to mention you have
Yeah.
Doomguard in the next
Yeah.
couple turns, perhaps.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, if you life tap into something decent,
All right,
yeah, that's
okay.
not bad. Drop your Nerubian, trade into the Shade, and you're doing good.
Well, it's something.
Unfortunately, I feel like Tiddler has the best possible response. He can go for
Yeah.
a board clear with swipe.
Oh, he even has
Two of
another
them.
swipe. So
Yeah, that's pretty fantastic, actually.
yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Get that egg out of there and the Nerubian under it, just while you can do it so efficiently. Oh, Dark Iron Dwarf too.
Well, he's got some big guys there.
Yeah, there's not a proper response immediately from Numberguy, or sorry, T.Celestial, excuse me.
Would you prefer playing this over the Black Knight here? Just save the Black Knight because there are Defenders of Argus? Or probably are Defenders of Argus?
It's pretty good either way.
Yeah.
You're assuming that it's just gonna deal 4 damage to the Loetheb for the most part.
Yeah, that's true.
Playing the Black Knight would get more mana out of your hand though.
Yeah.
So next turn theoretically he could play something like Swipe and BGH. Now he doesn't have that option.
Are we playing everything except the Iron Beak Owl and trying to do as much damage as possible? Empty
Oh,
your hand
gosh.
for the potential Doomguard.
Ooh, let's see. I mean, that is 9.
I don't know if you
Zoo
want
is so funny, isn't it? When you're at 21, let's almost kill you.
Yeah. Zoo is a joke without a punch. At least when I play. Numberguy, I think if he puts out these amount of stats too, it's a little bit harder to deal with so
Yeah,
many
yeah.
strong bodies. There's a
And
4, 4, 5.
he already used a swipe, so it seems like less likely that this is all going to be dealt with as well.
Oof.
I think it's a good play, but that swipe is going to make him rethink it a bit. Like, he can clear this quite easily. Oh, wow.
He's got combo.
Yeah, he's actually...
Yeah.
he's getting close to being able to kill him, too.
Well, he's gonna have to make a decision. There is more than one way he can deal with this. Swipe is a very efficient way. It uses the BGH the way that he set up and planned to use it, and he can decide to hero power to finish off the Flame Imp, or he can use his minion. Either way, his minion survives.
Well,
But
2
only
extra
as a 2/1.
damage on him doesn't really matter right now. 10 health against 1 card in hand. Like, even the perfect Doomguard into Soulfire is not going to kill you.
Right, true. And that would be the scary thing, and being at 10 health, maybe he will be willing... Going down
Yeah.
to 10 health, he'd be willing to do.
Yeah, it's, I mean, you don't know if your opponent's playing Mortal Coil or not. I think that, yeah, I like this.
Fair enough.
So this does leave the Zoo player with one sort of free turn, where the combo's not going to happen yet. Oh, it's just a
Yeah,
lever
that's
gnome
true.
so far.
That's not a good draw.
We can
No.
tap into something better.
Well, anything I think is better than Leper Gnome right now.
Numberguy's making me really nervous with his mouse hovered over end turn. He's really thinking
Well, I guess
hard right now.
there's no mouse, right? They're actually playing with their fingers.
They have a choice.
Oh, okay.
So they are large touchpads, but they're the
Has
Windows-
anyone chosen to use the touchpad yet?
I believe D2 was playing with the touchpad. That's why
Okay.
he was saying in his interview
Oh.
how it looked like he was trying to say threaten, but he was really just trying to use his hero power.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
Well,
that's not a good draw, is it?
Nope. Ironbeak Owl is not going to cut it here. But at least, thankfully, he used both of his swipes. Do you have to play
it
a
all.
minion, right?
I think you probably play it all.
Yep. You're
Yeah.
all in at this point.
Yeah, you're going for runner now. You're trying to get any damage in that you can.
That
And
keeper will never speak another word.
Soulfire Doomguard that you spoke of previously is exactly what.
Wow.
Oh, but
You're gonna heal this up,
Oh.
right?
Yeah, you have combo next turn, right?
Yeah, you have to live one more turn.
it is a bit of a risk.
Now, okay, so this is 6 on board. So yeah, if he kills one, he doesn't die because you can get 9 damage out of 2 cards. So 9 plus.
That's a nice draw.
That
too.
is a good draw. Wow.
It's
Oh,
okay.
he doesn't have enough mana to play both these cards, though.
Yep.
That's rough. Well, I think you play down the defender and you go to face,
Push
right?
damage.
Yeah, you bring him down to 9.
But that does mean it's game. Actually, it's game either way, right? Because he doesn't have.
Yeah, you're right.
He doesn't
Yeah.
have a resilient taunt. They're easy to get pushed over,
Yep. Any.
If only that was cheaper minion.
or even just a Void Walker, right?
Yeah.
Well, it seems like Numberguy will try to push in for those final points of damage, but T.Celestial has the combo, which means he is going to be meeting D2 in the winner's match.
and he's going for it right away.
Yeah, very well played here.
And you said Dartosis, Tiddler, Celestial, watch out.
Yeah. I think he's one of the favorites of the tournament, guys. I mean, a lot of the English-speaking scene that's watching us does think that, the Europeans and Americans are the best players. And
Oh, of
I
course.
think, for the most part, so far they have been, but the Chinese, I think, and really the whole Asian region is really catching up.
Yeah.
And we can see here, I mean, did you guys see any big misplays from Tiddler? I think he played really well.
No, of course not.